future land use map amendment for the for the item that follows it. So you'll see the same property on the next item. Currently, this site is designated as commercial on the in the comprehensive plan for the future land use map. As you can see, it's surrounded by residential open space, and then, of course, the mining category to the east and southeast, which is the Texas crushed stone facility outside of the city in the ETJ. The C1 general commercial zoning was approved in 1995. Gas station and convenience store was built on the corner in 2003. The designation in the comprehensive plan comes from the commercial zoning that was put on the property. Any amendments to the plan need to consider changing market conditions and the surrounding land use. Since this site has been zoned for more than 25 years, that no development has occurred on it. That gives some indication that the market is not there for that. It's immediately adjacent to a single-family residential development, which makes the residential land use designation a better one for this location. Given that, we do recommend approval of the amendment. If you have any questions for me, happy to answer them.
Thank you. Does the owner, applicant, or developer have anything they wish to add?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Amanda Brown. We do have a presentation. It's really more geared towards the next agenda item, which is the rezoning. I'm happy to do it now, or it can wait until the next item.
We're happy to let you wait and do that later.
Okay.
Let's see it twice.
Right? This one is a public hearing, and with that, we will open the public hearing for anyone who wishes to speak for or against this item. Now's your opportunity to please come forward. Has anyone signed up?
No.
With that, we will close the public hearing and move to commissioner discussion. Alternate Vice Chair Went.
No questions or comments, thank you.
Commissioner Bryan.
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Emerson.
No questions.
Commissioner Dominguez.
Just the comment that I happen to agree that taking it from commercial to something residential seems like a better fit, because it could have been anything commercial at this point, so I think it just fits better in the area. And there seems to be some stuff that's just west of that falls in that same category, but I think it fits. So no, that's the only thing I wanted to say.
Commissioner Sanchez Adame.
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Sellers.
No questions, thank you.
Vice Chair Rabe.
I have questions. Clyde, so I want to kind of zoom back out on, and I don't know if we have access to the future land use map, but want to back out and get a kind of a big view of that whole area. And first of all, let me just say that I'm not opposed to changing the future land use, but this commercial property here is really being dominated by the very large tract designated as mining, and then there's also mixed use to the south as well. And so, if we look at this, change the use, change the future land use map. If we zoom out, and I don't know if we can we pull up the?
I don't have access to a larger area on the future land use map on this.
So, between this property and all the way over to, I guess it's 35, you could imagine that the development goes one of two ways, assuming, mining, at some point is finished. It could either go commercial, all commercial, or it could go mixed use, or very likely residential. And so I was just kind of curious how the bigger picture looked with this property, with all the residential property to the west, but a lot of commercial property towards 35. And I guess that's more of just a comment here. It's hard for me to see what the end game might be in 15 or 20 years with this change here in future land use change with just this one piece, so.
I think any change to the mining designation is so far off in the future
Yeah,
that it's hard to even imagine.
Yeah,
As you say, there is a portion of the southern part, south of 1431, where the city did annex and part of Texas crushed stone property. No development has ever occurred there. It does have a land use plan, like you said, for mixed use. That's closer to I-35. I think we look at this property as appropriate probably for local commercial like the corner is to serve the neighborhood, the gas station, a convenience store. It could potentially be a strip commercial center. It hasn't been a demand for that, and like I say, in 25 years. So to convert it to residential seems a pretty logical step since, like you said, there's going to be other commercial. Hasn't been a demand for commercial here, so. And it seems more appropriate, again, next to the single-family neighborhood.
yep. All right, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to make a comment, so.
Thank you. I don't have any comments or questions, and with that, I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve item F5, Stone Oak and 1431, the Flume Amendment, please.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bryan and a second by Commissioner Dominguez. All of those in favor, would you please say aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes 8-0. Item F6, consider public testimony regarding and a recommendation concerning the request filed by Kimley Horn on behalf of the property owner, Blevco LLC, to rezone 8.49 acres of land from the C1 General Commercial Zoning District to the TH Townhouse Zoning District, generally located north of FM 1431 and east of Stone Oak Drive, case number ZON 2202-004.
Chair and Commissioners, this is the zoning for the same site. The property, again, was zoned as C1 General Commercial in 1995. We just took action on the future land use map amendment. The townhouse district allows living units that are with 3 or more dwelling units attached. With the recent code amendment that it does allow for 5% of the total number of dwelling units to be in structures with only 2 dwelling units attached. And the maximum density is 12 units per acre with a design standard incentive which allows up to 14 units per acre. Maximum building height is 3 stories. There are provisions for special setbacks and buffers when the 3-story building is adjacent to single-family or 2-family lots. So that would come into play on the northern part of the site. Required parking is 4 spaces per dwelling unit, 2 of which must be in a garage, plus an additional parking at a rate of 5% of the total number of required spaces. And the regulations do have design standards and amenities for the townhome complex. The notifications were provided, newspaper, mailed notice, signed, and emailed to the HOA, and the applicant also reached out to the HOA. And if there were any contacts made there, they can speak to that. With that, we do recommend approval of the rezoning. If you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Does the owner, applicant, or developer have anything they'd wish to add? Please let us know who you are one more time.
Amanda Brown, thank you so much for your time. I'm here with Kimley Horn, representing the potential developer of this site. The developer who's also here tonight to answer any questions is Bridge Tower Development. A little bit about what Bridge Tower does is they develop single-family detached and townhome for rent products. It's geared towards families. It's intended to kind of serve that missing middle housing type that allows for people to have garages and private yards and not have anybody living above them, while also being able to rent and not have to maintain their properties as much, and maybe for those who can't necessarily afford to purchase a home. A little bit about Bridge Tower. They've been around since 2013. They're based out of here in Texas. They've started to develop all over Texas and also in North Carolina. They have a vision to provide high-quality homes for families in well-maintained neighborhoods while being good neighbors and citizens in communities they develop in. Now they manage 2,000 single-family homes in suburban infill communities. I think another important thing about Bridge Tower is that they purchase, develop, and they do long-term holds of their communities. So they're excited to be a part of this community long-term. They care about the quality of life here. They care about the traffic issues in the area. So Bridge Tower really focuses on wanting families to occupy their development. So the homes are a little bit bigger, 1,600 to 2,400 square feet, 3 to 4 bedrooms. They have got irrigated yards, community amenities. Each of them will have a 2-car garage and their own private yard as well. Again, they do long-term holds. Additionally, they're a vertically integrated company, and so they do their own developments and they do their management in-house for all of their communities. So there's really a high-quality standard of maintenance for all of the landscaping, all of the amenities, for all of the leasing, and also the maintenance of all of the homes. They have a good neighbor policy that requires in-depth residential screening and really strive to be good neighbors. No excessive noise, no trash, high quality. And that really showed with our outreach to the neighborhood group. So we reached out to the Stone Oak Neighborhood Association. They have preliminarily shown support for this project, so we were very happy about that. And Bridge Tower has committed to working with them throughout the development process. So we can kind of coordinate on the construction process and answer any questions that they may have. I think another really unique thing about Bridge Tower is that they do programming in their communities. So they have community events, they have Halloween contests, they have movie nights. Sometimes they'll have food trucks come, and so people can come enjoy that. And I think that's a really unique thing about Bridge Tower is that they really focus on health and wellness and community and really want the neighborhood to connect. This is a location map. Clyde already did a good job of showing where it is. Again, there's a Shell station right next to the development, 8-acre site, currently undeveloped, and just south of the Stone Oak neighborhood. The existing zoning is C1, which is really one of the most permissive zonings in the city of Round Rock that allows for lots of uses that may not be compatible with the adjacent single-family neighborhood. That includes lots of car washes, sort of auto-oriented uses, adult-oriented businesses. Additionally, a commercial development here may end up having loading docks next to the neighborhood with lots of noise and trucks. So we're proposing to rezone this property to townhouse to allow for attached townhome product, 2 stories. Here you can see our concept plan. This hasn't been fully engineered, but it does give you a general idea of the direction that we're wanting to go. So you can see page right. This has very steep slopes and has some floodplain here. So this portion will remain primarily undeveloped. We've got some amenities here and here. We'll have a tot lot, a little playground for young kids. There's going to be a buffer here between the neighborhood to the north with screening trees. These homes are going to be, we describe them as being alley loaded because these homes actually do face onto the green landscaped areas and green paseos. So there will be internal walkways through here showing connectivity, and there will be front door entrances to all of these buildings. A little bit about the driveways. So these are existing driveways for the existing Shell gas station here. So we're not going to be adding any new curb cuts onto this road. We will be paying traffic impact fees, and when we come in for our site plan, we will be studying these driveways to determine if any sort of decel lanes are necessary or any improvements with the driveways, and obviously be working with TxDOT as well, as they have jurisdiction over 1431. And there's a traffic light currently at Stone Oak and FM 1431. This slide is really just to show how, we're asking for a straight TH zoning. We're not asking for any modifications or variances to the existing zoning code. So this really shows just how we either meet or exceed. TH allows for 3 stories. We're only going to be doing 2 stories. It requires 2 amenities. We're going to be providing at least 3 amenities. And the density allowed is 12 units per acre, and will be really closer to about 9 units per acre. This is some examples of developments that Bridge Tower has done in the past, and sort of what the vision is for this property. We don't have that nailed down yet or have any definite architectural renderings to show you specific to this site, but these images can kind of give you an idea of the direction that we're going in terms of architectural intent. Again, we already talked about this a little bit. We'll have at least 3 amenities planned here as a tot lot, a dog wash area, and some nice green open spaces and picnic areas. With that, I'm available for any questions. We also have our engineer here, and the developer is here as well to answer any questions.
Thank you. We appreciate you. We will move to the public hearing, and if there's any questions, we'll ask you back up.
Okay, thank you.
So with that, we will move to the public hearing. We'll open that public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this item, now's your opportunity to please come forward. Has anyone signed up?
No.
All right, with that, we will close the public hearing and move to commissioner discussion. Vice Chair Rabe.
I've got no questions. I think it's a good development change for this particular area. I think the concept hits on a couple of things that we have in our comprehensive plan with, hitting kind of that middle market of residential consumers. And so I think it's a good plan. Thank you.
Commissioner Sellers.
I don't have any questions. They were actually answered in your presentation, so thank you.
Commissioner Sanchez Adame.
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Dominguez.
Same as earlier. I think after seeing the pictures of the property, it just validated what I said earlier, that it's a really nice use of that site, and that I was going to ask about the neighborhood behind it, but then when I saw the way it's screened, I think it just leaves little impact to that neighborhood. If anything, it just makes it look really nice off of the main road, and it looks like there's really good ingress and egress from both sides. So I just didn't see anything about it I didn't like. I just think it would really enhance that area. That's it.
Commissioner Emerson.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. They're kind of minute, and they're for Mrs. Brown, if you don't mind, please. Bridge Tower Homes, is that a public trading company or is it private?
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to leave that to the representative from Bridge Tower.
Just curious.
My name is Adam Green. I'm with Bridge Tower. Thank you for having us. No, we are not a publicly traded company. We're a private company.
The second question is that from the photos, it looks like there's a common wall, or will there be a common wall to the person's next door?
Do you mean to the neighborhood to the north?
Right.
There is an existing wall there from the neighborhood. So we're happy to, we'll be complying with whatever the fencing requirements are for that area. So I'm not sure exactly what that will be ultimately, considering there's a fence there, but we're happy to build one if that's the desire.
Along the same line, when I mean common wall, I was thinking in terms of, since these are townhomes, their next door neighbor, would they be sharing a common wall with each other, or would they be separated? I couldn't tell from the photos, really.
Do you mean internal to our site?
Right.
They'll all be attached.
They'll all be attached?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Commissioner Bryan.
No questions, thank you.
Alternate Vice Chair Went.
Nothing, thank you.
I also have no questions. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept item F6. There's no conditions.
I think, so this one is a recommendation, so is your motion to to make that recommendation to council?
Yes.
Awesome.
Motion to make the recommendation to council to approve the zoning,
Yes,
rezoning.
I think we got it.
Did I get it?
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Sellers and a second by Vice Chair Rabe. All of those in favor, would you please say aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes 8-0. Item F7, consider public testimony regarding and a recommendation concerning the request filed by Kimley Horn on behalf of the property owners Linda G. and John Reed for the original zoning of 31.17 acres of land to a planned unit development